And welcome back once again to SIROWORLD 2016. I'm David Temple, and you're going to like this panel. These guys are some of the most animated, educated fellas in the show. Would you agree?
Of
Please
course.
welcome Adam Busch, Todd Ehrlich, Dr. Todd Ehrlich, Dr. Mike Skramstad, a.k.a. Scrammy, and Dr. Clark Brown. Good to see you guys. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Why don't we start off? Yeah. Let's start off. Another great first of all, big show, right? Always exciting. Always cutting edge. Let's talk about the latest advancements of Zirconia, Chairside Zirconia workflows.
Yeah, so this year, in February, we launched the Speedfire furnace in the entire CEREC Zirconia story. And all of these guys at the table had the privilege of actually testing that for us. I say a privilege. It might have been painful at first, but I think in general it was a way for us to talk about how they were doing things in the past and how we could do things in the future. And I think that's what the CEREC Zirconia story provides us. So I think each one of you had a different journey along this way. Each one of you used different materials going into this, and each one of you had some transitions in your workflows.
Yeah, being a longtime CEREC user, I think all of us would agree that when he called us and said, hey, you're going to test this thing out, we were excited first. And then second, Zirconia. Why do we need Zirconia? Because we've been able to figure it out without Zirconia for so long. And it was a unique transition for us.
Yeah, you all stared at it like some primordial ape or something like that.
That's right.
Yeah, I was like the machine's going to be delivered tomorrow. And I'm like, I don't know about this. First restoration got me. I don't know about you guys, but the first Zirconia restoration I did, I was 100% sold.
And why is that?
One, the workflow is great. Two, the material is outstanding. And three, I've never had a restoration that's fit as well with so few, if any, adjustments and no post-op sensitivity. It was like the perfect thing for me.
Wow.
I know we have something good when these guys don't say anything.
Yeah.
That's what all of them did. The first time they saw the crown drop, they went.
I think I had it the hardest because my initial unit had a German laptop, so they made me like learn German words. So all I know is nass is wet. Is that right?
Sure, we'll go with
I
that.
don't know. It's something else. But yeah, I never really used that much Zirconia in the past. I did it from time to time, but I never used a lot just simply because we couldn't do it in a single visit. So the fact that we could do it in a single appointment kind of got me into it a little bit more. And for me, the big thing that really impressed me besides the fit was the fact that I could cement it. Yeah. It's just been so many years since I've actually cemented a restoration, and you realize how nice it actually is.
Yeah, my big wow moment was when I saw the dry milling for the very first time, and watching that milling chamber cut it in circles and use one burr and cut through it and just rip that stuff off. And then when it was finally done, the margins are just like paper thin. Yeah. And then when I saw that, I was thinking, I need to start reworking how I'm prepping teeth because it can do that. And so that was my big moment when I saw the milling actually happen.
I think that's a good point too. Is that I like the fact that we have a little bit more flexibility in how we prepare a tooth. You know, you can prepare it really in any. I mean, more conservatively is probably the best way. You know, removing less tooth structure. So it was a different mindset that I haven't been used to in many years. So going back and prepping a tooth in a different way.
And also, you guys all treated the finishing different. Each one of you did something a little bit different. So, I mean, talk about what your experience was with other materials versus going into the Zirconia workflow when you're finishing the materials.
Well, my first thought was it was going to take me a lot longer. Like I was going to be into it hours just to get the Zirconia out, and the Speedfire, the dry milling, and how easy it is to finish afterwards. It wasn't really that much of a difference when it came to other materials. And I know you've done more timing of what you did.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I think that what I did at the very beginning is I milled a Zirconia and a glass ceramic both at the same time, just because I wanted to get an idea on workflow, like how long is this going to take or how much longer. And what I realized is the workflow is just different. You know, there's different steps along the way, but overall, from a time perspective, it's really exactly the same. So as far as the finishing procedures, you know, I've kind of had a little bit of a transition that I'm just mainly polishing them now. Which we used to do back, 15 years ago, was polish everything. And kind of we're back in a big circle back to that. So it's pretty easy.
Yeah, I've sort of gone the route of stain and glaze, then just polish, what you're doing now. And now I'm sort of back to a stain and glaze because it doesn't take that much. I found it doesn't take that much longer for me to stain and glaze as it does to polish, because I'd spend a lot of time polishing.
Yeah.
So I'm sort of back to that, but they
find you
look
better
good no matter
polishers.
what. What do you
Have to find you better polishers.
polishers? But yeah, but from the workflow, from what you're talking about, I mean, to me, it just makes me a lot more productive, because like you said, it still takes the same amount of time,
Right.
but you have a certain amount of time milling and a certain amount of time either crystallizing or sintering. But with the glass ceramics, I would always try in, like with an Emax, I'd try it in the blue state. So now I have two 15-minute blocks of time that, what can I do with that?
Yeah.
Where now
Yeah.
it's a 30-minute block of time that I can do another crown prep in that amount of time. I mean, it just makes me more productive.
I just go in my office and drink coffee.
Drink coffee. We all teach a lot of doctors, especially doctors that are coming into the technology. And as I saw the restorations first fit onto the teeth, the initial times I did it, I was thinking, what would they be thinking when they see it happen? And because that's what they're already doing. And so I think what's so great about the Speedfire and the CEREC Zirconia is that it's a great entry point for a lot of people to come into the technology that we love. We use it on a daily basis. We can't even fathom not using it. Whereas on the other side of the line, they can't fathom using CAD/CAM dentistry because there wasn't zirconia. So now that there's zirconia as an option, we're going to have a lot of people that are coming in here. And it's really exciting times in dentistry.
And from a training standpoint too, like what you're mentioning is, because zirconia is the type of material that they can prep like they would a PFM crown. We used to have to spend a lot of time teaching people how to prep for the all ceramic.
Right.
And while we still have to do that because that's still part of the materials we use, for zirconia, it just doesn't become as critical.
Right.
Yeah, I think in general, I'm seeing from the marketing side, we're seeing a resurgence of some, let's call them legacy CEREC users that maybe have older systems that now are looking at, wow, this is something I've been doing a lot of things with CEREC, but I've been farming out other pieces, and now they have sort of the complete puzzle.
That's right.
Everything's there in front of them. So it's really changed the way that we're interacting with our existing customers from the past and current customers, of course.
Yeah, and as far as the equipment goes, this probably hasn't been covered much, but I was in an office not too long ago, and because the Speedfire oven is so small, the footprint of it's so tiny, that's a big problem in dental office labs because we don't have a lot of real estate on our countertops. So there's a lot of creative craft work just to get an oven in there or something, and it's only this big, And so there's really not a problem to incorporate it into a dental lab.
Sure.
Yeah. And let's talk more about that Speedfire oven, the uniqueness, and why is the shrunk footprint, etc.
Well, it's actually magic.
Yeah.
It makes a mean espresso also.
It's an induction-based oven, so it's completely different technology than anybody's used before in dental. And really, we have an extremely small little chamber inside that'll fit up to 40 millimeters on it. So it's geared for chairside dentistry. We're not gearing it towards anything big laboratory projects that you would do on the dental side. But we really wanted to make it something that was controllable, completely controllable, so that we get exactly what we want when we want it. So we can fire the zirconia extremely fast. And in a method nobody else has done before, and then immediately switch that furnace over to a stain and glaze oven, which has never existed before either.
Yeah. And as far as learning curve too, I mean, the dentist proofed it, right? So it's you don't have to hit any buttons. The software automatically says put it in the oven and then hit start. So you don't have to worry about how long do I have to fire it and things like that.
We've learned a lot about you guys over the years.
Yeah.
We really like that.
You're taking control away from us? What's wrong with you?
I think you like that, though, don't you, a little bit? Yeah.
We want ease of use for sure, no doubt.
Right. It's all about workflow.
Absolutely.
Workflow. Gentlemen, thank you so much. I know you got to bounce, but I appreciate you stopping by and giving us the time.
Thank you.
Exciting times.
Thanks for having us.
All right, let's take another short break, and we'll be back with more Zero World 2016 right after this.